going on? I'm Tyler.
And I'm Travis.
This is
Twisted Transcription Studios.
Like we said, going to show you a little mixing on the guitar and the bass.
We're gonna actually mix the bass completely and then mix the guitar a little bit. I'm gonna show you what the kind of compression we use and the exact plug-in that we used and stuff like that for that. So we've caught a different angle and now we're gonna mix the bass. I've got it soloed up. All right, so now we have the magnifier on and we're going to scroll over here to bass. Normally what I would do is create a bus for the bass, but in this scenario we only have 2 little bass tracks, so I'm just going to pan them. I'm thinking like 90 out. Sometimes it's... Anyway, so now we've got them at 89 and 89, which is close enough. The first thing I'll do, obviously, listen to the bass track.
So what's the first thing you put on your bass mixes, Travis?
Well, I like to have a 7-band EQ on almost everything, and sometimes it don't have to be 7-band, but for situations like this, I like 7-band. You can see here, now we're boosting the low frequencies a little bit, scooping out a taste of the mids, and giving the click back to it a little bit there in the high mids. And you can see all of our little preset settings here, exactly where you have your gain and your threshold set. It's take a picture of that if you need to, if you really like our bass sound. Also, we drop in a plug-in that is called TSE BOD, and it is never where I think it is. So I also normally throw a plug-in called the TSE BOD because we do record our bass straight in DI, because I'm not a bassist, Tyler's not a bassist, we don't have a bunch of bass equipment. So we record it DI in, and then we add plugins to make it sound better. For some reason, this plugin lives in the harmonic drop-down menu. I don't know why, but it does, and there it is, the TSE BOD V3 Bass Overdrive. Here we have the BOD, and I've soloed up just bass number 1. That is very corny, ain't it?
It's got that kind of a real grungy sound to it.
What I like to do is cut a taste of highs out, drop some more lows in, turn the drive down a taste, because we're already driven pretty hard with the guitar, raise the presence, and blended it about a quarter. And depending on like my levels, you can see what the level is. It makes it loud. So normally I just leave the level where it's at and adjust that with the faders. But that's kind of it with the bass. Normally I'd have these kind of things bust, which is what I would do with the guitar, but there's only 2 tracks, so we're not going to bust them. We're actually just going to alt copy each of the EQs and the BOD. Then you can also listen to both the basses together. Have the stereo widened. Sounds good. It's a good sound bass.
Quite a good mix.
Alright. And what we'll do again is play with the faders in post to make everything have a great level. We're just kind of trying to get the sound we're looking for right now.
Yeah,
we'll adjust levels in a minute.
Guesstimate where it's going to be at, and then go back and listen to it and change what needs to be changed in it.
Alright.
Why would you put all those in a bus? What purpose does that serve?
What you get out of having everything in a bus is that this section of the guitars, I know you can't see where I'm pointing at, but this section of the guitars are now all together. So every effect and or plug-in I put on them will be translated across the whole thing. And
save you from having to alt copy like you just did.
True. And everything is also panned together. So like if I just had one, if I sent this one to bus 1, output or bus 1, bus 1, bus 2, bus 2, then they're going to be panned left and right automatically. Your panning is going to work well for each guitar part. So we're going to, like I said, not go super in depth on the guitar, but I will show you exactly what compression I use, because compression is very important. Let's pop over here in Dynamics, and it's the C4 compression by Waves. This is an excellent guitar compressor, because if you're playing really distorted tracks and stuff, you know that your palm mutes are boomy. And I guess what we can do before we pull that open
Before and after.
Yeah, we can solo this bus up. And when you solo buses in Pro Tool, you also have to solo each individual track that goes into them. So I'm not going to turn this down because that's probably going to be loud. Alright, so what we'll do is we're going to bypass it so you can hear what it sounds like. Still kind of raw. So you can leave your low end where it's at, but what I like to do is take and change my mid to 350, because that is the range of the boomy palm mutes, and bypass everything but that mid section. So now we're here before bypass. It just kind of tightens everything up. And I also would even like to drag my threshold a taste down and get it close to like 23, 24. And again, it really tightens up the palm mutes so that you don't have a super boomy sound when you're attempting to, you know, get rid of the mud, because the bass is already in the low end, kick drum's already in the low end, and if you have a bunch of palm mutes, that soaks up the low end, and then your mixes
just
become
bleeds together and it just sounds like garbage.
your mixes become muddy. And what I'll do, honestly, with this kind of thing is just I'll copy that C4 straight over to this bus as well, because I use that on every single guitar track I have. It's just the way my amps are set. The Marshall amp that it's in one of these previous videos, very low inclined, and it creates an amazing amount of boom. Sounds great, but you really have to compress it.
Yeah.
Like we said, we're definitely going to go more in depth with why this compression sounds the way it sounds, and why we EQ everything the way we EQ it, and exactly our position and stuff like that. Same thing with all the drums. We didn't even touch on drums today, but same thing with the drums. We're going to go super in depth and that kind of thing, so make sure you stay tuned. We're just going to keep it going.
Be sure to check out the other videos.
Make sure you like, you subscribe, you smash that bell.
Find us on social media at Twisted Transcription, and we will see you next time.